Welcome in everybody, I'm Ron, aka Fit Sasquatch, and today is Sunday, which means it's meal prep day. We're gonna make my standard chicken and rice recipe that I typically eat for lunch. And we're also going to make a new recipe that I'm trying, which is a beef kebabs recipe. What could go wrong with beef on a stick? Right? Let's try it out. Alright guys, so to start the beef kebabs recipe, you need to take your 3 pounds of bottom round steak, trim the fat, and cube it up. My cubes are a little larger than 1-inch cubes. Take those cubes and place them into a large 1-gallon freezer bag. You can also put it into a smaller container as well, something you can put the marinade in. To start the marinade, you need half a cup of Greek non-fat yogurt. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. You can use fresh lemons for this, I did not have any. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, again, you can use fresh. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, or table salt if you have that, and 2 teaspoons of hot sauce. Stir until blended. Now we're going to take half of that marinade, place it in a small container, and set it aside. This bit of the marinade is going to go on the food when we're done and about to eat it. Take the other half of the marinade and place it into the bag. Seal the bag, and it helps to remove some of the air. Now mix the marinade onto the beef. Make sure it's nice and covered. We're going to take this bag and the small container, place it in the fridge for, I'd probably say, more than 8 hours. I did mine overnight. Alright, it's the next morning. We're doing our brown rice. We're going to do 2 cups of uncooked brown rice in our rice steamer. If you don't have a rice steamer, you need to get one of these things. It's going to make your life a whole lot easier. Add water to the 2 line. Place it in your machine. Set it for the whole grain function. That should take about 60 minutes. Once it's cooked, we're going to put it in a container and throw it in the fridge for later. If it seems like I'm jumping between these 2 different meals, it's because this is the exact order in which I was making these 2 meals. So I'm just kind of trying to show you the structure in which you can go by if you're preparing multiple meals on the weekends. So for the spicy shredded chicken, you're going to want to take 6 chicken breasts, remove any nastiness or fat that you don't want on the chicken, and place it in the crock pot. Then we're going to use chicken broth in this. I know some people don't like chicken broth because they say it makes it a little mushy, but I actually prefer it. So half a cup of chicken broth in the bowl and throw a half a cup in the crock pot. Next up is 2 tablespoons of a chicken seasoning. This one is McCormick Montreal chicken, one of my favorites. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and 2 tablespoons of hot sauce. Go ahead and give that a mix, and then we're going to throw it in the crock pot. I like to move the chicken around, try to get the marinade all around the chicken. Cover it, set it to low for 6.5 hours. That'll give us plenty of time to prep the rest of the food. All right, you're gonna take your onion, cut off the root ends, and then cut it down the middle. Remove the skin. Now for these kebabs, I like to cut it into thirds. This gives you nice big onion chunks when you peel the layers. Look at those. All right, onto the assembly. If you have wooden skewers, metal skewers, whatever you want. There's no right or wrong way to do this, guys. So I typically start with like beef, onion, but I started running out of onion. So you could cut up more onions if you want it to be beef, onion, but I ended up just using a couple of beefs here and then maybe one onion, you know, that kind of thing. So finish up the rest. Let's take them to the grill. Quick tip, I forgot to oil my grill top, so they were all sticking to it. I managed to get them dislodged, but oil your grill with some olive oil, or I mean, some people use grill sprays or coconut oil or whatever you use to grease your grates. Now obviously cook times are going to vary on grills, because some will run hotter than others, gas, charcoal, whatnot, windy. So definitely be conscious of that, but typically it's about 4 to 5 minutes on each side here for the beef, and we should be good to go. So I don't want to overcook it, because then when we microwave it, it'll become shoe leather. So they should be just about done now, so let's take a look. Oh yeah, those are looking good, and they smell great, guys. Let's get these off of ya. Normally once the onions start to, you know, go a little more flimsy, I start getting them ready to take off, because I do like the onions to have a bit of a crunch still. Alright, so the meat's all cooked. They smell great, and they look great too. Probably gonna give it a taste test here in a minute, but for these, since they're my dinner, I'm not gonna actually put them into like meal prep containers like I will with my chicken and rice, because those ones I'll actually transport to work. But since these are actually my dinners, I'm just gonna put them in a bigger container, probably pull them off the skewers, and then when I go to eat them throughout the week, I'll actually weigh out, you know, a certain serving size, probably 5 ounces of the beef. Get yourself a food scale if you don't have one. This one was like $12 on Amazon, so. All right, guys, so it's been 6.5 hours. So the chicken is finally done, so we're gonna get in here and we're gonna shred it all up. There it is. Yes. We're gonna get in there, shred it all up, and then we'll weigh it out with the rice and the beans and put them all in the containers for lunches this week. Let's do it. Alright, there's the final product. Got 6 ounces of chicken breast, half a cup of black beans, and 1 cup of cooked brown rice. I also eat a salad for my lunch. These are my work lunches. I also eat a salad. I'm not going to show you how to cut up lettuce unless you need me to show you how to cut up lettuce. And if you do, then go ahead and comment below. So I'm going to go ahead and put the rest of these together, and then we'll wrap this up. Alright guys, so there it is. I went ahead and put together a dinner, so I'm going to go ahead and eat this tonight. But there's 5 ounces of that beef that we had cooked up from the kebabs and 200 grams of broccoli, and that's a standard dinner for me. So there you go. You got the chicken recipe, you got the beef kebabs recipe. If you try either of the recipes, let me know what you think and leave some comments below. And until then, we'll see you next time.